All right, it's media day. We are talking 24-6A with Clear Falls head coach Zach Head. Coach, your district has stayed the same. It's still 7 teams, which means you still got to search out 4 non-district games, which sometimes can be a problem. But since you're kind of used to it, you probably had your games in the fold. But the same thing's kind of this. If the same stays the same, then you're going to be looking to try to hold back Dickinson and the Clear Springs of the world. Talk about this district in the teams that you have to face and try to get past.
Well, it's a challenge. 24-6A has a lot of really good football players and outstanding coaching. You mentioned it, Dickinson and Clear Springs have been really the top 2 for several years in a row now. Dickinson was the district champ last year. We came in second. And so, definitely one of our goals is to win a district championship. And we know to do that, we got to be able to compete with the Dickinsons of the world, the Clear Springs of the world, and beyond that, everybody else in our district, because there are no off weeks in this district. Every opponent is a challenge. So we're hopeful. You mentioned non-district. We've loaded up a pretty competitive non-district set of games to hopefully get us ready for the challenge of the 24-6A.
Well, let's go right to that then. Who are your 4 non-districts, and what do you hope to get from those games?
Yeah, we open up with Pearland, and then we got Summer Creek, who last year went to the state quarterfinals, losing a close game to Katy. And then we got Houston Lamar. And then you mentioned kind of having to scramble for opponents when we opened up the packets at realignment day and saw we were going to remain a 7-team district. I was scrambling to find a week 4, and just across the way was the HISD table, and Houston Heights. Coach Dixon had his hand up as well, and so we kind of caught each other and said, all right, let's agree to play. So Houston Heights will be our week 4.
All right, excellent. That'll get you set up for a tough district. And last year when I was talking and thinking about your team, I was thinking, okay, this 2021 Knights team is going to be a tough defensive team coming back because you had a lot of experience coming back. Well, this year it's like the opposite. You got your experience is coming back on the offense. What do you hope to, and especially at the running back position with David Smith, talk about him and how he may stand out above a lot of these running backs and athletes in this district?
Well, he's just special. I mean, he's the heart and soul of our team when it comes to the energy that it brings, his leadership. He's a very passionate football player. You're not going to find a harder worker, and he demands that of his teammates and really raises the level of everybody else on our team. His work ethic and his passion. His skill on the field speaks for itself. Great vision, great balance, very physical runner, has home run ability. In track this year, he got a chance to showcase his speed a little bit. He made it to area in the 100, and his 4x1 team he was on made it to regionals in track. And it's a lot of speed down here. I'll put it that way. And for him to be, that level on the track shows you just how fast he is and what speed he has. But he ran for almost 1,600 yards last year. Catches the ball well out of the backfield also, blocks well, and he does it all. And he's a very talented player. But even on the bigger picture, what he brings to our program with his leadership really just raises the level of our team as a whole.
He's one of those guys, if you can get through that first layer, then we got ourselves some trouble. I mean, we might want to go look over to the band and start striking them up. But do we have the offensive line experience? And when I say we, I mean the Knights, since I'm not on the squad. But do you guys have the offensive line experience to get them through that first level?
Absolutely. In fact, offensive line last year was an area that was kind of a big question mark for us, and came along and was really solid by the end of the year. And now just about all of those guys are back. It's one of our most experienced units, led by Jude Edwards, plays guard for us. Now going into his 3rd year as a starter. He's going to be a junior this year. He started every game since he's a freshman, which is pretty rare, especially for an offensive lineman. But he kind of leads the way there, and we got a lot of experience back around him. And so I think our offensive line is about to be one of the better units on the team.
That's what I like to hear. And that'll keep your quarterback upright. Speaking of which, who is the quarterback? I know 2 of them were used last year. What are we looking at this year?
Yeah, last year we had Cam Roberson and Landon Bessel, and they rotated, and both did a really good job. This offseason, we had some needs come up on our team. You mentioned defensively having to fill in some holes, some guys were replaced, and the safety position was one of those big areas of need. And so Cam Roberson has gone over and worked in safety and has looked outstanding this summer. He has been tremendous. I think having been a quarterback really helps him in the secondary because he has, just a knack for kind of having instincts and knowing where the ball's probably going to go, those type of things. And I think that's about to have a really big season at safety. Now, that being said, he is going to play quarterback still at times. He's going to have some packages he's involved in because he's too talented a football player for us not to use him there a little bit. But Landon is going to be our guy at quarterback. He's really come a long ways this offseason as well. Very, very smart young man, understands the game probably as well as any quarterback I've ever had. And big things this offseason where he improved was just being a year older, more physically mature, arm strength, athletic ability. you're not going to find a harder worker in him either, and a tremendous leader. And so Landon will be our primary quarterback. Cam's going to be on defense quite a bit, playing safety, where I think he's going to be outstanding. And Cam's going to be like I said, he's going to be involved in a lot of roles with us. He is going to be a quarterback at times, and he's going to be involved in a lot of different avenues of our football team, special teams, and everything else. He's just too good of a football player not to be involved in a variety of ways.
I was going to say, usually the teams that go the furthest have that one athlete guy where it gets to crunch time, offense or defense, Cam, go make a play. He feels like he's the kind of guy for you, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. He's a tremendous football player. And like I said, I think he's about to have a big year in a lot of different roles for us.
Well, let's talk about the defense. Besides the safety position, where are you looking for experience to, maybe lead this defensive unit?
Sure. Well, defensively, you're right. We did lose a lot, but we got some key pieces coming back. Corey Kelly at outside linebacker is outstanding. In fact, he committed to Baylor a few weeks back. Probably had about 25 or so FBS offers. 6'3", 215, long and rangy. Another one, one of these young men that's a really good leader for us. And so him, and then Max Williams at corner coming back, and Josh Moore at corner coming back, give us some centerpieces on defense to build around of some of the newcomers. And certainly you ask, where are some areas we're going to have some new faces. Defensive line is one of those areas. We have Laquel McCowan coming back at defensive end, but the rest of the D-line is going to be some newcomers, and there's been some guys we've moved from offensive line to defensive line that are going to be in that mix. And then inside linebacker, we lost two really good players at inside linebacker from last season. I'm really feeling like the guys that are in place to fill those spots at that inside backer position are going to be very, very solid as well. We're very excited about them. And then we talked about the safety position. We lost two really good safeties last season, also graduated. I think Cam's going to be outstanding there. And then we got kind of rotation, some other guys at the other safety spot that I think will be very solid. So I think when you look up, going into the season from the outside looking in, it does appear like, this year's kind of a flip of last year, where last year we had a lot of defensive experience back, a little bit young on the offense. This year it appears different, and there is some truth to that, but I really think when you look up, our defense is going to be every bit as solid as it has been once we get this thing going.
I guess last question, in a 7-team district as a head coach, what's the mindset? Do you feel good that, hey, I only have to beat out 3 teams, or is it more the other way where, hey, we only got 6 games, we got to be right on. We can't have time for any kind of mistakes?
I would say it's the other way. Only 6 district games, and they're all challenges because they're all really well coached and good football teams. Yeah, it does. It's every week's a challenge, and we just take it one week at a time. We try not to get caught up in the big picture. We just find it out one week at a time and not worry about some of those things. Take care of the process. I think at the end of the day, our goals will take care of themselves. But it is a challenge because you're right. There's not a lot of room for error. Just 6 district games.
Well, I appreciate you joining me, Coach, and good luck this season. We'll be out to several of your games and hope you make that playoff run.
Thank you. Appreciate you.